everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you probably know, I'm very busy, and then I'm like super busy, and then I'm always learning, reading books about machine learning and deep learning, and then algorithms and blah 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 and stuff. And then I was like, I want to share with you guys, just like to share while learning, because I wanted to share, but then I was like, maybe I can share. So that's the purpose of this video, and then the next video. So from now on, I'm going to record what I've been learning, and I will share with you guys with projects and notes that I prepare according to the things that I've been learning. So today, let's start from the basic. Yeah, so if you like this video, if you have any questions, let me know. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And so the topic for today, we're gonna get started with something basic, simple, which is to understand how the whole machine learning system works. How does it go from step one until you get the result for your machine learning models? How does it look like? I mean, you can find resources everywhere, but that's what I wanted to teach you guys for today. And then there are more advanced kind of things coming up in the future. So let's get started. So today's lesson is about machine learning system, basically the whole system, and how you transform from raw data into your result. How does it look like? So here a diagram that I created. It's not perfect, and then I refer to some books, which is this one. I mean, I didn't copy everything, but this is the details of that. You can have a look at the book. It's amazing. I love it. So let's get started. So you start with like a raw basic data set. I mean, the data set that is like so unclean, because data is always messy. Data is always unclean. So you start with that, and then you have that, and then you will have to clean it up. You have to clean it up because it's messy, and then you cannot put, for example, you cannot put the column of a pizza, about the type of pizza, to train what's the populations in the United States. I mean, this is just no. So that's the reason you have to, I think I move a lot with my hand. I think that's the reason you have to clean it up and pre-process it. People call that pre-process it, which is, for example, things like filling up missing values, because some data set, they have like missing values in, for example, in Excel, right? And then EDA stands for exploratory data analysis. So you have a look at your data, and then you just sort of understand what does it do, what it is, what is it for, and also don't forget about why do you need the data set for, right? What's your purpose? And then you use that purpose to analyze the data. Oh, so this data set is about, for example, for this one, I created the email and spam ham. So it's like to analyze whether the email is spam or ham or not. So is spam or ham. So you got this data set. For example, this one. You got this data set, and and then you will see like this is the email, and I've got this and that. Okay, and then the label is, if it's 1, it will be a spam. If it's 0, it is not a spam. So you just sort of have a look. This is a pretty small, clean data set. You will, in the real world, you will get a really complicated one that you have no idea how to deal with, but you have to deal with that. So that's why you have to have a look. Sort of like And then you because you sometimes you have to plot the graph, and then it's like outliers. It's like too much. You get a data of like 10, 50, 20, and then there's some data that's like 1,000 with the value of 1,000 and stuff, which you don't want to have that. That's why handling outliers. So you sort of like clean it up, and then you have to. So the data set is like okay now, and then you have to split it up. You have to split it into the training set and also the test set. So we don't touch the test set. We only deal with training set. So it's training set, which means you use the data for the model training. Because you need to identify like which model you're gonna use. Basically, just go through to understand more about data. What models are you using to make a perfect model according to the data set, and then you will use this test set. So after you have evaluating the whole thing, that you got a perfect model, okay, and then you will use your test set to try it out if you will get a good result or not. So that's the purpose of the test set and then the training set. And then the next step, you go to preprocessing data set. For example, like according to your business goal, like what columns, what data do you need from the whole data set? Which column are you going to train? So that's basically the idea. For example, like if you have some data about image, you have to transform it into tensors or numbers, because they can't process the whole data. They can't process the whole images. Yep. So you've done that pre-processing, and then now you're gonna pick the right model. Okay, you got your perfect data set. The data set is good for, you understand it's clean. It's you have clean up. You have modified that to according to business needs. Now you're gonna need to know which model are you going to train that. So what type of model do we have? For example, we have different type of machine learning model. This is what you have been always wanted to learn so far. We have things like reject. We have things like logistic model, support vector machine, naive Bayes, I don't know how you say that, decision trees, linear regressions. So all these are machine learning models. I don't want to get into like really detail, just so today we just go into like the basic of how is the flow. So you pick which one you're gonna use. There are like supervised or unsupervised learning model. Are you training for a classifications? Like, is it for example, like, is it like, are you trying to classify whether the gender is boy or girls, something like that. Yeah, so you pick that. So and then you pick that model, and then you put your data in. And then you train it. Okay, now you get the result. And now you're gonna evaluate how's the model. Is the model performing well? Is it up to the standard? And then there are some features you can use to evaluate the metrics, which I'm not gonna go into details for now. And then, yeah, for example, like you can use validations metrics, this kind of thing, which I'm not gonna go into too deep now. Just the surface. We just touch the surface for now. Okay. Now, okay, you are happy with your model performance. Now let's go to. And now you pick your model, and then now, so you get everything ready. You are happy with the model. It's time to test some real world, kinda, because this is like the untouched data set, so it's great to use that to test out your model, right? Yeah, so you test it out, and then if you're happy, and then you can deploy it to production using to real world. That's it. Sounds easy, but it's not, because there's a lot of things you have to learn. Okay, so we understand the basic flow now, which is like a really basic one. And then now I think I've shown you before, I sort of like play around. I can just show you like how the whole process related to this. So you sort of like import, this is just an example of how does the whole machine learning flow works. So you sort of importing your necessary database libraries, like you use pandas, numpy, manipulate the graph, and then you have a look at the data set. Okay, so sort of like understanding what it is, like, okay, you got, yep, and then you do some pre-processing. For example, like you find if there's null in the data set. If there is null, okay, there's one. I found one, and then it's up to you if you want to drop it, if you want to fill it with the average data. It's up to you, but it depends on the situations. If you want to drop it, or do whatever you want. For this one, I drop it because it's only a few, so it's only like one. And I'm dropping the duplicated one as well because I don't want to have, there's no point of having two similar data in this case. Okay, now let's do some EDA. Just have a look, like, oh, you just play it out, the data, just play it out to see like how many percentage of it is spam or not spam, which we call ham. So they are like 60%, 60.7% at this in this data set that is a spam message, and 83.3% is not spam. Okay, and then I gonna edit this kind of thing. I'm not trying to explain everything, just blah blah blah. Have a look. Basically, trying to add some extra columns because I need that. Trying to have a look at the statistic. Blah blah blah. Okay, now again, have a look. Okay, and I found that like the correlation as well. For example, the correlations, which columns is highly correlated to the spam or not spam, that I can use that to train the data. Yeah, and then you just feature in there and you pick which one you're gonna use. You clean it up, and then have a look. Basically, you can see, as you can see, like the whole identifying, visualizing, cleaning up the data, it's like 80% of the whole machine learning process. Picking up the which models you want to use, it's just like a 20% thing. So it's very important to understand data analytics and how to deal with data, because you don't really need to understand like deep how does machine learning algorithm works, because it's up there. You don't have to really understand that. You just pick the right one and just plug it in, and then you can just plug it in, you split your data set and you plug it in, and then you get the result. And I got my result, which is like I used the logistic regressions, and then I use to see like which model is suitable for this case, which is the support vector machine. So that's it. As you can probably see, as I say, so data analytics play a big part. Like understanding the data, how to do the data, how to understand the data plays a big part. In terms of algorithms, picking up which machine learning models, yeah, but it's good to understand both, but spend more time to understand about data. I would highly suggest that. So that's it for today. I hope you have learned something. I have posted my notes down below in the description sections. You can have a look. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this quite often if I have the time, and I hope I can do it. Yeah, because I wanted to share. Yeah, so that's for today. I hope you have learned something. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'm coming back for the next session, which is, I don't know, let me know what you guys want to learn. Bye now.